Okay guys, so up next is Mauves and Purples. I did adjust the camera angle just now to try and better capture more space and be more down on the product, so hopefully it'll help with some of the reflection that I feel like was happening in the first two color declutters. This is our next section. This is the Mauves and Purples, I guess is the best way to call this. So I'm going to try and organize these a bit more by color because there's quite a range between mauve all the way into some of my bright purples. So give me just a second and I will lay all that out. Okay, so here are all of the shades that I would consider to be mauves and purples up here in this corner. Now I will say, as I was looking through some of this, I think there are a few colors that probably could have gone or should have gone in my mid-tone nude section. They're just a little bit more nude than I would consider rose. I tried to divide this up in my beauty room before I came out here to film this, and I think I just kind of tossed a few products into the wrong bucket, which is fine. If we get to some of those, I am probably going to set them aside and go compare them to the products in the mid-tone section that I kept. I still have those in my room. What it may mean is that the total that I gave you for my mid-tone nudes is going to change a little bit. I'm rambling a little bit at the mouth, but I want to compare like colors and can't always do that if I have put something in the wrong category. Okay, so these two up here in the corner, these are from Gerard Cosmetics. This is the shade Enchanté, which is an interesting sort of dusty purple color, and then this is one called Vintage Rose. Both of these colors are very pretty. Not a huge supporter of Gerard Cosmetics, so I bought Gerard before knowing some of the controversy out there. I don't want to spend time talking about it here. Google it if you're curious. It's not a brand that I will support now. However, I do think these two shades are pretty. The formula is just a classic cream, but I do think I'm going to go ahead and probably declutter both of these. It's a really interesting color purple. It's like a muted purple, and Enchanté, I believe, was a collab with Dupe That, which is a Instagram page, which is totally worth following. So yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and declutter these two. This is a Ulta Lip Butter in the shade Enticing. This I picked up in the last Ulta sale. It's very comfortable and very pretty, but my gut tells me I'm going to find 1,000 other colors like this already in my collection. So I'm going to pass this one along. This is newer to my collection. This is Berry Couture. This is from Revlon. This is one of their Shine lipsticks. Could have probably put this in the berry section, but I felt like it was more mauve pink. Or heck, I could have put it in the pink section. That is really pretty. I do think I may keep this one. This is from Kiko Milano. This is 316. This I love. This is probably my favorite color of the ones that I've purchased from them, so I am definitely hanging on to that. Okay, now we're going to get into two what I would consider to be more grayish shades. This is Cool Nude from Essence, sorry. Super affordable lipstick. I love this shade. And then this is MAC Driftwood, a part of their lip intensity line. This one goes a lot more gray, I think. My gut tells me to keep both of these. I love this. It's super affordable, and I don't have anything else like Driftwood, I think, in my collection. So I do think I'm going to hang on to both of these. This is another Essence lipstick in 3 Matte Matte Matte. This is going to be more of your classic mauve. I love this formula though. All right, I'm going to hang on to this one for the time being. This is a little Tarte Lip Surgence lip cream. Oh, this probably should have been in the red section. Set that aside. We'll deal with it when we get to reds. This is another Revlon Lustrous Cream in Sassy Mauve. That is very, very, very similar to that matte matte shade from Essence. You can see these side by side. I think I actually preferred the matte one, or the Essence one, so I'm going to declutter this one. Here are two more of those Julep It's Balm. We have Vintage Mauve Cream, which is more of a nude mauve color. And then this is Pink Cream, which should have been in the pink. No, it's more mauve. So those are those two shades there. I love this formula. I am not getting rid of either of them. I reach for them all the time in the winter. This is one of the Revlon matte balms in the shade Sultry. This is beautiful. I guess this probably could have been in more of a mid-tone red family. I love this shade though. I am not getting rid of this. Now we're kind of moving into purples a little bit here. Actually, you know what? Let's jump down. Let's save these purples and let's come down here to these. This is a PBJ smoothie stick from, I don't even know what company this is from. I think this came in a subscription service. It's pretty, but I don't find myself reaching for it, so I'm going to declutter it. These are 3 ColourPop shadows. The first is Lumiere. This is going absolutely nowhere. I will always have this in my collection. It is a beautiful shade. It is one Kathleen Lights came out with. This is Frida. This was a shade done by, I think this was done with Coffee Break by Danny. That's more of a pink. I love it, but I'm gonna put this with the pinks because I wanna see how it compares to pinks. And this gets into the purples. Okay, so here are all of the more purple shades in my collection here. Start with the more extreme purples here. So this is a Lorac eyeshadow, called Free Spirit. It is a lipstick, clearly. And then this is a NYX Macaroon lipstick in Violet. Very opaque, but it's very bright. These are my two most extreme purples. Do I see myself wearing the NYX one? No. Do I see myself wearing this Free Spirit one? This is gonna be a maybe. This is Beauty Guru. This is a very fair, dusty purple shade. Kind of torn on those two. This is a NYX Full Throttle lipstick in Trickster. And this is more of an orchid purple. So to me, this is a lot more wearable than the rest of these. I think I am gonna pass along this super dusty purple here, Free Beauty Guru. I don't see myself reaching for this. Do think I'm gonna keep Full Throttle. I really like that color. But is it a dupe? Oh, dupe land. It is a dupe for Violet. All right, I lied. I'm going to pass along Full Throttle and keep the bite. Moving on, this is another NYX lipstick in Pinup Pout. A little bit of a deeper purple. It's almost more of a berry. I guess these are borderline shades if I'm being totally honest. Try this. This is, yeah, and see that is more of a pink. It's not that I don't want to look at these, it's that I want to make sure they're in the right categories. That just feels waxy. This is from Hard Candy, All Matte Up. I think I'm gonna pass that on. This is Revlon. This is in the shade Shameless. Okay, so these two are very similar. I don't think I need both of them. That is the Revlon. That is the Pinup Pout from NYX in the shade Flashy. I think this one's a little bit more patchy than this one. So I am gonna keep the Pinup Pout. I'm gonna pass on the Revlon. This is Revlon Blossom. This one I have not really worn much yet, to be honest. And that is a straight up pink. I think I was distracted by this purple packaging, so I'm gonna set this aside for the pinks. This is Backup. This is a matte X formula from ColourPop. Let's see, I'll put this here. That is really pretty. I will probably reach for that in the fall. Okay, so let's talk about these. This is number 29 here. This is a berry color. This is one of the Kate Moss ones for Rimmel. I'm gonna hold this. I'm gonna put this in the berries catalog because I just want to make sure that I'm comparing this against my other berry lipsticks, and I feel like this one is more pinky berry than others. I just need to be honest with myself. I'm probably not gonna reach for this shade, even though it is incredibly unique. I think I will probably gravitate towards purples more like this or more like this with these violet undertones versus this super cool toned purple on the lips. So I'm gonna pass this one on as well. This, I know I'm not gonna pass on. This is from Hera. It is an incredibly expensive, well, it's pink. I'm not gonna pass on it even when it gets to the pink section, but it is totally pink. I'm gonna hold on that now, work for dupes later. These two are from the Maybelline line. This is the matte line, and this is the Bolds line, I think. The navy was the Bolds line. This is the shade Mauve, and then this is the shade Brown Blush. I'm sorry, this was part of their Nudes line that just came out. Dude, those look almost exactly alike. You see that? I mean, I guess this one's slightly more rosy and that's slightly more brown. This is one of my favorite lipsticks. This is in the shade Lust for Blush. I'm on my second tube of this. This is probably one of my favorite mauve shades of all time. It has this beautiful, almost bluish undertone to it, orchid-like almost. I love this shade. I wear it all the ding-dong time. Okay, Lust for Blush is staying. I'm gonna set these aside. We'll come back to them. Let's swatch a few more things. This is Shea Moisture. It's the only lipstick I own from them. This is in the shade Tea Rose, which is very pretty. This is a creamy lipstick. It's definitely similar to that, but it's definitely warmer, whereas this one is more cool tone. Hopefully you can see that on camera. I'm tempted to keep this one. This, I think, is gonna go in a maybe pile over here. This is from Rimmel. This is their new matte line. This is in the shade Naughty Nude. This one, 700, I think is in the wrong category, so I'm gonna put this aside and go back and compare it against some of the other shades that are in my collection for the nude stuff. This is Rapture from Urban Decay. I don't think I wanna get rid of this. I love this shade. It is gorgeous. So you can see it is lighter. Hopefully you can see that. It is lighter than Mauve, but they're very similar toned. Sorry guys, I'm a bit rambly in these videos because you're watching me kind of puzzle out what I want to keep, and I try and be more concise when I write and when I do videos. You can see those there. They are almost spot on. One's just glossier and one's more matte. I'm going to keep the Urban Decay, pass along Mauve, and keep brown blush. All right, moving on. This is something I'm never reaching for. It's a City Color matte and gloss. I'm gonna pass this on. I'm just not using it. This is the shade Mauves Berries. It is more pinky toned. It is almost the exact same stinking color as my Maybelline one, so I guess it's cheap and cheaper. I think I like the Maybelline one more, so I'm gonna pass this one along. This is from Bright Bite Beauty. This is Movember. This is a very deep, almost plummy mauve color. This was, I think, limited edition last year. I love this shade. I love this formula. I'm not passing that along. This is Magenta from Makeup Academy. You get this at Costco. It's pretty. Yeah, I feel like I need to keep one of these over the other. These are very similar colors here, and they're both cream finish. I like the more mauve tone ones, so I'm going to keep Shea Moisture and pass along MUA. This is another MUA. This is in the shade Rose. That is very similar to that color there. I guess this is more of a pink. It's a pinky mauve. Do like this formula. It's very hydrating. I forget the type of formula this is. I think it's just like a Hydra Gloss kind of one. Tempted on that one. All right, I'm going to set that one aside too. This is 104 from Rimmel Kate Moss collection. It does look a lot like these two shades I've been swatching here. Definitely more rosy toned than plummy toned. This is 610 High Flyer, part of her matte line. I just didn't really care for the formula of this matte line, so I think I'm going to pass this along. This is 907 Mauve Out of Here. Okay, so this is, do you guys have this problem with these Wet n Wild lipsticks? I like them, but they get all over the cap and it drives me crazy. That is almost more of a pink, isn't it? Well, it's pinky mauve. It's brighter than the shade I'm keeping, but I think it's very close. So I think I'm gonna pass this on. This is one I think should have been in my Nudes collection. I guess it's kind of grayish. Hang on, let's compare that to the grayish shade that I am keeping here. This is MAC Driftwood and NYX matte lipstick, which I love, in Honeymoon. Oh yeah, those are really stinking close. This might have a slightly more pink undertone to it. I don't know, let me think about this. And I just think I wasn't recording. So I am keeping MAC Driftwood and I'm gonna pass this NYX one along. I think they're very similar. I am also going to pass along this Catrice shade, which is right here. This is in the shade Mauve Your Lips. It's very similar to the three of these. This is a color I like, but I don't reach for a ton, so one of them is probably plenty. This is the L'Oreal Tender Berry. This is definitely a rose shade. Oh yeah, it's very similar to this Makeup Academy one. I'm gonna keep the L'Oreal one. You know what? I lie. I'm gonna get rid of the L'Oreal one and keep the Kate Moss one. All right, we are down to this little pile here. So this is the matte lip color from e.l.f. in Tea Rose. I really enjoy this shade. It is a dusty purple color, but I actually find to be very wearable. Love this one. One of my favorite ones from this line. This and Praline, which broke on me earlier. This is the shade Dawn, more pinky toned, and it has a bit of a shimmer. I hate to say this, but it has a shimmer to it, but it doesn't look bad on the lips. I actually really like it. Although I'm wondering if this is going to be a dupe for pinky shade that I set aside earlier when I got to it. This is Love Light from Urban Decay. Close. This one's pinker with more gold. I really like this shade though, I'm not gonna lie. I don't usually like shimmer lipsticks, but I think this one is super flattering on the lips, so I'm gonna keep this. Here are, well, let's talk about this one. This is a jumbo lip pencil from NYX. This is the shade Pecan. This is very creamy and comfortable, but I think that I just saw little flecks of mold on this one. It's a little older. Sometimes these really creamy lipsticks have a problem with stability and lasting a while. I don't want to risk it. I will probably rebuy this because I love this color. And I like this formula. It's incredibly creamy and comfortable on the lips, but I don't want to risk moldy. This is from L'Oreal. This is part of their lacquer line. These I feel like people don't talk about a lot. I guess it's probably more of a nude than it is a, well, I guess you could call that a mauve. This is probably going to be more of a rose than a mauve. Okay, this shade I feel like I just kept in that Rimmel color, so I'm going to pass this along. I do like this one. I'm going to hang on to it. This is from NYX NYC. Sorry, this is harder to get. This is part of their matte line, and it's kind of interesting. You've got a twist cap on one end and then a sponge applicator on the other. All right, I'm going to put this in the keep pile for the time being. Okay, so here's what we're decluttering. Here's what we're keeping. We're actually keeping 23, getting rid of 23. So I got rid of exactly half my collection. So I'm feeling pretty darn good about all of this. So next up is going to be all the many shades of pink, from light pink all the way to magenta hot pink. So we're going to work our way through those lipsticks next.